Adaptations are contentious, anime ones even more so. There are some that I love, and some, to be generous, that I care a lot less for. But the general consensus is that no live action anime adaptation has reached the heights and emotions that anime reaches. Well, I'm here to tell y'all that everyone's looking in the wrong place. See, you'd think maybe Japan would have it figured out since that's where all the good anime and manga come from, or maybe Hollywood since they've spent over 100 years adapting stories, and more recently telling stories with budgets that just might be able to do the grandness of some anime justice. But those answers are both wrong, cause though it is a little bit weird, the best anime adaptation out there comes from China. Animal World is an adaptation of the Japanese manga Kaiji, about a 20-something burnout loser who gets coerced into deadly gambling games due to an unfortunate set of events. It's high tension, and these shadow games that Kaiji participates in are both inventive and nerve-wracking. Adding on to that is its highly unique art style, and the manga by itself becomes worth a read. It has its own Japanese live-action adaptation, but let's just be honest, it can't hold a candle to the stylized visuals and performances of Animal World. Animal World is an amazing film on its own. The themes, the visual effects, the cinematography, and the acting are all top notch. But as an adaptation, it soars. As a disaffected 20-something burnout loser myself, Kaiji's original motivations in the manga worked for me. As a budding anti-capitalist myself, it more than worked for me. But to work as a 2-hour film, some changes needed to be made. Nothing was removed, only a few motivations added to the beginning of a story in the shape of a love story and an ailing mother to make a story more sympathetic with wider audiences, whilst still keeping with the themes. Adding these elements not only added some much needed backstory, but also a lot of emotional ammo that the director uses expertly later on. Tying his trauma to a fictional clown in that universe, a new creation specifically for the film, which, by the way, I think is a reference to Michael Douglas in the game, further solidified it as an anime adaptation, as it allowed the director to tap into anime fight scenes he normally wouldn't be able to with a story like Kaiji. And all of this is great, the story is great, but it's the effects and the monsters and the camera work and the lighting that really puts it over the top for me. That's what really makes it so good. In the story, there's a subplot where Kaiji, when he gets mad, imagines himself as a fictional cartoon clown that kills monsters. The monsters are breathtaking and the action visceral. Weighted Digital did this train sequence, and their history with Lord of the Rings and superhero films shines as the monsters are all gross and inventive. As a connoisseur of monsters myself, the transformations in this film sent me over the moon. And not only that, but the lighting casts this sleek, colorful neon glow that just washes over the frame. Combining all of those together, you get an amazing technical package. And all that is before you put in the masterful camera work. The camera work in this movie combines CG with these slow motion tableaus to create these amazingly beautiful works of art. Whereas the fight scenes pay homage to anime's brutal brawls, it's these tableaus that pay respect to manga panels and still frames in anime. It's these two sides that come together to create such a stirring piece in Kaiji. The story of Kaiji is as good as it can be. Everything lifted from the manga is as excellent and nerve-wracking as always, whilst the additions add emotional depth and even higher stakes. The technical side does so many interesting and innovative things that I haven't seen since this movie came out. Their efforts truly deliver on visuals that live up to the hype and bombast of anime, but it's when these two sides come together that it truly becomes a great adaptation. It does what every great adaptation must do. It elevates. As Kaiji was already top of the class in tension and thrills, it was really hard to see it do anything but go down through adaptation. But by providing sleek visuals that lived up to the anime aesthetics, while adding more emotional depth, Animal World not only lived up to its source material, but elevated it. Even looking at Animal World in a vacuum, it's apparent that it's an excellent thriller. With an international cast of supporting characters that are as cowardly as they can get, Animal World paints a scathing critique of capitalism that's very welcome in today's world of billionaires and wealth inequality. With a brave main character in Kaiji that continuously drives home the point of collaboration, the film is able to draw out the very best in its talented cast. With the tension packed into 2 hours, the anxiety is as high as it can go, delivering a final product that can stand tall and proud on its own 2 legs. Not only is Kaiji an amazing film by its lonesome, it excels as an adaptation. As the world goes forward with anime adaptations, I really hope they learn a thing or two from Animal World and realize that the same tricks used in other adaptations won't work for a beloved medium. Until then, Animal World will remain the world's best anime adaptation. I've been Ace, I hope you enjoyed. Check out some of my other videos and my second channel. Like and subscribe if you want, and share this video if you agree with me and want to spread the gospel of Animal World. And if you don't, I want to know what you think. Until next time.